Okay. Now. Alright, now. So now we've covered stage 1 and 2. Alright, so back at it again with the safe strat route. We're now going to cover stage 3. This stage... this stage is probably going to go bad quite a few times. And hopefully it doesn't, but I'm not counting on anything. So, we're gonna... Okay. Alright, so... Okay. So now we are on to stage 3 for the safe route. And, I mentioned how brutal stage 2 was. Well, it's time to kick it up even a bigger notch, because this level... In fact, this level is so brutal. So brutal, in fact, that before I picked up this game, there was no designated route for this. That is how awful this stage has been for probably any runner. If there is a level that is going to cause you, as a runner, any trouble, it is going to be this stage. This stage is probably the biggest mental block for most runners, new runners. I have my strats, but as far as safe strats, yeah, anything is gonna happen. I can't account for all possible things that can happen. I can only tell you where you can get health, where you can likely get screwed, where you can likely screw up, what can happen in the run. There is even a crash that can happen in this level. So many things can happen in this stage. This stage is a very eventful stage. Chaotic. Absolutely chaos. Some awful, awful, awful enemy spawns at various points in this level. But to start things off, though, we have the jet section. And the jet section is actually pretty simple in the safe route. The first thing you want to do is you want to just kind of chill a little bit. Actually, you may even, as soon as you land, you may even just be able to walk straight through, grab the multiple, grab the laser, then the rebound. You want, at this point in the game, we are done with laser. We are just absolutely done with laser. Laser, well, there is one spot where we will grab laser in this level, and that's it. Pretty much from here on out in the run, rebound is your go-to weapon. It is just, it's so good. It is so good. The multiple, it will have its purposes, but it's also the most prone to causing the infamous crash of this level. So you do keep that in mind when you do attempts of this game. So now we got the rebound. We want to take out all these enemies here. And the entire goal of the entire idea of this level is going from helicopter to helicopter. I wouldn't risk trying to roll off of any helicopter and going from one helicopter jet to the other. It just probably is not recommended. I would not recommend it to anybody, because you're putting more risk just to save maybe a fraction of a second to do it. Once you're on a little bit past the upper part of this cloud, you want to drop off, though, because a jet will spawn here, and you're able to drop off and begin this cycle here. If you accidentally drop off by being a little too bold and staying a little too close to the edge here, do know that there's an enemy that's going to be down below you, and you can power bounce back onto it. So, nice little tidbit there. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to show a particular visual cue I use to roll off now, but that's fine. In the safe route, I don't want people to be taking too many bold risks. Waiting until you see the thing is probably the better way to go about dealing with that part. Now, the transition here is actually simple. This one I recommend you do. Kind of hang the sprite of Bren here about this far off the platform, and the next one just grabs you and takes you down like that. You don't even have to press anything. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, now the next one, what I recommend doing is I recommend dropping off once you see enemies. And then when you do, you shimmy and move towards. And then you move, once you know you're past the enemies, start moving right a little bit, shimmy back that way, and you will land on this platform here. Start firing so that you kill the next flying robotic Goomba, as well as this one. Up here, and drop down there, once you know you see the jet. And then, again, we're going to do the same thing. We want to wait here, though, because you got those two enemies right here. And with them being right there, that presents a little bit of a wall, and you don't want to deal with that. Instead, we're going to drop off here. The good news is, this jet doesn't move. So, if you need to take time to wait it out, on these enemies here, you can do that. I recommend doing that in this, for safety strats, and just deal with killing all the enemies here, and then jump on there and initiate this cutscene. And that's the jet section. And now we're on to the really, really difficult part of this level. So, if you want to know what's here, whoops, it's just weapons. So, you don't really need that. So we're just going to roll over here and initiate this next fight. And then what we want to do is we want to get towards this side here. And we want to start jumping and just shooting all of these little bullets here. Because kind of a standard boss from the Mega Turrican series, Iron Fist, is going to come over here and make his way over to us. And he's going to kind of slam his fist down on the ground over here. We're going to anticipate this by getting as much damage as we can with the rebound pea shooter bullets, and then when we feel we need to, jump down and land, or we want to land here and then roll around, throwing down some mines as we roll over here, and then we want to jump up and throw a few more rebound bullets at him while he pounds his fists on the ground and takes the entire brunt of the mine damage. So let's see if we show it off properly. Oh, this is a little sketchy. Yeah, that was sketchy. Okay, so that was not smart how I did that. And that was because I messed up a jump, but it's a pretty simple fight. All you have to do is you just stand in this side over here. You just establish as much of those rebound bullets as you can, and when he gets close enough, you want to try to roll past him before he gets a chance to slam his fists on the ground. And then just try to meet up with him as he drops his fist down with some more rebound bullets, and it should kill him. It's pretty critical quick kill, and why you need the rebound for this part of the run. Now you'll notice I'm hanging on to this side. Oh, hang on. There we go. I'm hanging on to this side of the screen here. And this is very, very important because this next pattern here, this next group of enemies is just terrible, terrible, terrible news. You'll be introduced to a new enemy, and these are these bouncing spike balls. And they have more health than they deserve to have. More health than the Goombas that you can bounce on. Or the robotic Goombas, I should say. But you gotta contend with them. They're hard to hit, so of course, as you can imagine with rebound, already hard enough to actually get any hits with the rebound on these enemies. And now you're dealing with these bouncing spike balls with a lot of health and just hard to hit in general. It's just bad news. But this first particular pack has a certain way that I do it that's pretty consistent. What I do is I hang to the side of the screen here, and I'm going to take an intentional hit to this spike ball right here. It's going to damage boost me back. Okay, I think I messed that up, but what I try to aim to do is I try to aim for bouncing off the front part of this robotic Goomba here. And what that does is it bounces me directly onto this guy here without taking any hits from any of these two spike balls here. Now I think I messed it up, so I'm probably going to take a hit and bounce off of this guy, unless I readjust. Yeah, took a hit. So you can see that now we're in real danger here. I'm about a hit from death, but I power bounced off that other robotic Goomba and right over this third one here. And then subsequently you want to try to dodge. You want to try to dodge this other one coming down here. And okay, this level design here, this is the reason why most people have a lot of problems with this particular level. You're going to be dealing with a lot of these guys coming down from way up high in the high ground. And it's very hard to dodge them. Like, you have to really be on your A game if you want to dodge these guys here, coming from way up high here. And that's the theme of this level. That's the entire theme of this level. And to make it even better, you're sometimes going to be dealing with these guys coming from higher ground. And they are even worse. It's just a real clusterfuck. Complete clusterfuck of a level. And how they put these enemies. But by doing things the way I do here, I don't spawn any unfavorable patterns here. So what I'm going to do instead, when I land here, I'm going to tread pretty carefully. This box here, you might notice, it contains a laser and health. So hopefully I don't die. Oh, the bullet got me. Okay, so that's kind of unfortunate, but in case I die, not a big deal. There's a lot of weapon upgrades. All right, come on. Yeah, so unfortunately I didn't show the safe strap, but you can see that there's a health pickup there if you do need it. If you feel that you don't want to be dealing with this, just drop down the hill and wait for them to come to you. Otherwise, you could be dealing with situations like that. In the optimal route, I do spawn one of the higher up robotic Goombas faster, and that actually allows me to get past a really dicey situation, and I can actually kill all those Goombas in a good way. But you have to be quick to react, and again, your health has got to be sufficient. In my case, it was not sufficient anyways, because I took a hit to Iron Fist, which is very rare from me. So, you know, keep that in mind. Again, as long as you don't break open that one box, dying there is not a big deal. And again, we already grabbed... There is at least 2 emergency 1-ups in this particular level. So any unintentional deaths that you may have... If you have an accidental death that was not intended, you know, you've got a couple of chances to grab a 1-up in this level. So keep that in mind. Another thing, too, about this level... I didn't actually jump there and force the screen to go up, which would have saved me some time. Anyways, next up is this guy. Now, there's a quick kill associated with this guy. I hope I got my rebound weapon upgraded enough, but I wouldn't be surprised. But what's going to happen here is I'm going to... what I normally do is I jump up, get all 3 rebound bullets to connect with this guy, and then as soon as I'm below the point where I can actually hit him, I ignite a bomb and then try to jump up and get some more optimal hits on him. Now, of course, that's the optimal way. It's a pretty specific timing how I do it. So instead, here's how I'm gonna do it. The timing is not as precise. Well, it's not precise timing, but it's a bit of a... it's a bit of multitasking that you probably will have to get used to eventually. You'll know what a true quick kill will look like with that fight. But once he's not a big deal. As long as you use a bomb, he's going to die before he gets to do anything. And as long as you stand in the spot I was standing at, you're not going to get hit. So, now that we've dealt with him, I'm going to jump down here. And here, we have a missile, some emergency health, and an emergency 1-up. So, I want to avoid that. We don't need... Actually, do we? No, we don't need it, because we'll get a missile eventually. There are plenty of homing missiles we can grab, so we don't need it there, and I don't want multiple here. I want to make sure I keep this rebound, because we need it for the next fight. But, yeah, you can see how they're now starting to throw these spike balls in bad locations. Really, the only thing you can do sometimes is just to stand still and just wait for your moment to move forward. Make sure that you're always firing something, because you never know if a robotic Goomba is going to be a jerk and come in while you're dealing with dodging spike balls. And, of course, they fire stuff, so that's also another thing they can do. Yeah, you see how they're being jerks, they're throwing stuff at me. And that's kind of the whole thing. Sometimes the best thing to do when avoiding enemies altogether and you're trying to get up these hills as best as possible, jumping away from the hill and then jumping towards it is a good option. It allows you to get up these hills a little bit faster. So the robotic Goombas do come in handy in times of need, but of course you also have to remember they do shoot bullets. So they can be jerks at times, and usually they are the ones that get a kill on me normally. The spike balls like to ruin everything, but they are the ones that usually confirm the kills on me. Anyways, let's continue. Alright, I took a hit there. That's not good. Here... Actually, what's in here? Okay, it's just weapons. So, here, there's no health. So, not a big deal. Usually, I don't crack open this box because I don't need to. Usually, my weapon situation is good enough. So, but if you did take an intentional hit, or unintentional death, an accidental death, you know, here's more weapons to upgrade your weapons. Do not grab multiple here. Get rebound. If you have to grab laser here. But as long as you grab it first and then rebound. You need rebound here. This fight, this quick kill, is very tough to do without rebound. Oh, okay, I messed it up. I ignited the bomb a little bit too early there. But what can happen is, if you do ignite the bomb at the right time and get some bullets on screen, he will die on this side. I didn't want to demonstrate that here, because normally I do get it. If you don't get it, and you find you have to do a few more shots, you know, you can blow this last bomb. It's not a big deal. Whether you have any bombs remaining at this point in the level or not. Or, sorry, for the rest of this portion of the level, I should say. You can use the second bomb if you want to secure the kill over here. And instead of waiting for him to jump all the way over here. I like to call this guy Robot Chicken, by the way. Sorry for the confusion there. But yeah, that's what I like to call the Robot Chicken. There is a quick kill associated with him. Yeah, killing him over here, that is the quick kill. There is also a glitch that can continue scrolling the screen this way over here. And it saves you about 3 seconds, ideally. You can still die while it's trying to scroll. If you do end up veering down the bottom of the screen, it will count as a pit in that case. And you can crash the game if you go up too high. So there's a lot of risk associated with it. I haven't even looked into that particular glitch. So this gives you an idea of the risk associated with it. It's a pretty interesting fight in many, many regards. Anyways, continuing on with the run. Oh, I forgot to mention, if I had rolled while he was in his death animation there, it would actually force the screen to continue moving, or it would quickly scroll the screen right really fast there. And now, instead, I forgot to do that, and now I'm probably going to have more unfavorable spike ball patterns right after this portion here. But that doesn't matter, because we're going to grab this stuff here. And we're going to roll off here. And over here, we have a laser, which I just grabbed, a multiple, and a 1-up. Here's an emergency 1-up in case this level's giving you a lot of problems, or in case this run, your current run, is having some issues. So, there you go. Now we are introduced to a new element to this fight. As if we needed more. This level's already ridiculous enough. We now have wrecking balls. And these wrecking balls can be pretty glitchy. They can sometimes have a hitbox that will register straight out of nowhere for like a frame. And it's really, really annoying. But, to start things off, if you roll and then jump before the wrecking ball shows up, you can actually completely jump over him, like so. Oops, I didn't fire, so I got hit there. But yeah, you can see I dodged the wrecking ball by doing that. Now, we want to be up here and crack open the box here and grab this health. I grab this health in the optimal route because I want to make sure I'm fully topped off. This section here, you're going to take a lot of hits. Doesn't matter what you do. So, just bully your way through. Okay, my health is... Yeah. That was very unfortunate, but I died and respawned in the exact same spot. You can see how really, really dangerous this section is. But it's also why I have laser, because I'm able to crack open these boxes really, really efficiently. That section there is pretty bad. It is, you can probably tell I took a death there. And you can imagine if the world record holder, the current world record holder anyway, can take a death there, I'm going to take a death anywhere. Anyone's going to take a death there. So, just a heads up. You can use a different weapon, you can use multiple, but again, that section I just passed with all the wrecking balls can crash the game. So be very careful about that. It doesn't matter, I have gotten the crash with every single weapon, but it seems most likely to happen when you have the multiple. Just a heads up. And again, Rebound has a hard time hitting its targets, so that's the disadvantage of Rebound in that section. But once I get up here, you'll notice I had health, more health to grab. In case you make it here without a death, there's more health to grab up here. Again, you gotta tread through this section pretty carefully. But when you crack open the box, I grab all the contents from in here, and then when I crack open this box, I grab the multiple, then I grab the rebound, which is further up, and then I grab the 1-up. And then I wait for this guy usually, but if I do get up here before he bounces here, I usually neutral air jump up and then straight over him, and I actually, well, I don't technically dodge it, but for some reason you don't get hit sometimes by this guy if you're mostly off the top of the screen here. Now, I'm going to roll off here, and then I'm going to blow a bomb here, and this clears off all the hazards here. And then I'm jump up here. I don't know exactly the timing there, but I jump. I kind of jump more towards the end of this little yellow and black pattern here. And I'm able to bounce off one last robotic Goomba that didn't die from the bomb. And then that's the section. Very, very messy. Very, very messy section. I do expect a lot of deaths to happen in that section. It's probably the worst part of the entire game. Now, if your health is in really bad shape at this point, there you go. You have some more health. And you can grab the rebound there if you have a different weapon. Because again, you need rebound here. And that fight, you don't really need to do anything. He's just... You just get right up to him, you shoot bullets. I don't really need to explain that fight. It's pretty simple. Now, what is important, though, is the thing I forgot to demonstrate on Robot Chicken. I rolled there, and by rolling there, what's going to happen is the screen's going to rapidly scroll right. And that's only can be done if you start rolling. So, very important that you learn this. Very important that you learn that. But we want to do this because we want to force a specific sort of pattern to happen. So let me just focus here. Okay, so now, I don't know if I'm going to do this right, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack open this box. Because I have rebound, I can get away with this. I can shoot the box and grab all the contents. And the last thing I'm going to grab is the rebound. I think it also has health. Yep. So you can see how I grab all the contents there and I still had rebound. And that's the thing with that box. If you shoot with rebound while on top of it, you're going to grab all the contents and you're going to keep your rebound. So, and it has extra health in case you need it. So that's also another place you can grab health. If you decide you want to forego the health that was at the very beginning of this particular section, you can grab the one here. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, you can see here, once I crack open the box, I do a bit of a short hop so I can kill the enemies of this platform I'm standing on now. And while in iframes, I try to get past the spike balls and kill the Goomba here. Sorry I couldn't properly demonstrate that. The explosions really kinda didn't properly show the whole thing. But once you clear all the hazards here, you get past the section pretty cleanly. Now, to get past... what you might have noticed is I rolled here, and then I jumped right before getting to this little thing here in the middle. Doing that allows the screen to scroll up and initiate the fight faster. And then I'm going to... Okay, actually, what I'm going to do here... Okay, I have 2 bombs here. So technically I don't need to do this, but... You know, we have the healths have the lives to spare, so, you know, I'm going to do it anyways. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand on top of this thing here. We're going to have another fight with the Searcher robot. There he is, right there. And then as soon as I'm going to jump at a specific time when he's about to stop moving. And I'm going to take an intentional hit twice. Oh, whoops. Okay, that was wrong. Okay. That was not what I was supposed to do, but what I was trying to do was I was trying to jump up and take a couple of intentional hits on him and then move back and then on the third jump avoid taking a hit, then allow him to push himself to the right side and take 2 intentional hits again, get as much damage as I can on him, and then take an intentional death. Then by doing that, I will respawn with 3 bombs and then finish the job on him. That's all I was going to do. And what that allows for me is that it allows me to be more on this side, and it forces a good pattern there. So you notice I actually still got it somehow, but normally what ends up happening if I screw that fight up is I'm in an unfavorable position, and I get knocked back by this wrecking ball. This time I got boosted forward by the wrecking ball, and you'll see all these hazards down here. I'm going to be able to dodge all of this, like so. And then this next path here, I actually didn't need to shoot any of these. I could actually just jump over them like that. And then just land on this little thing here, and then roll down here. I actually got hit there. But that is okay, because I'm going to take an intentional hit. There we go. So normally I normally don't want to actually death abuse there, but I kind of messed up the previous fight, so that's why I did that. If that's what ends up happening to you too, you can choose to death abuse here. It's not a big deal. But yeah, that's how I deal with the hazards in that section with the wrecking ball right before this point here. But now that we're past all that, we are at the end of the level. This is the last fight. We're finally past all the chaos of this level. We're at the last fight. And what I'm going to do, what I do for this fight, is I jump on this box here, at the tip end of this box here, and then I grapple beam up, and then I latch on and I jump up here and get in line with this crane here. Because I have full bombs here, I'm going to shoot the rebound and ignite a bomb when I know the fight has started, which is signified by the music. Oh, okay. Okay, so unfortunately, because of because I ended up taking a weird death there. In fact, I think my damage values with rebound was kind of messed up there because I didn't have the most optimal kill there. So maybe instead, I think instead of what I did there, maybe instead stay over here and latch on to this point here. And line yourself up, line your rebound shots up on this crane, shooting from way over here. And that way, if you have some unfortunate deaths and your damage values is kind of screwy, you can end up instead just wait over here and just keep your rebound bullets aligned with the crane here. Blow a bomb anyways. You want to blow a bomb on this fight. And that way, if you don't actually kill the crane when it moves and picks this thing up here, and moves over and picks this thing up here, you know it's going to die before it gets over to you and when it tries to attempt to pick this thing up here. So, yeah, that's all there is to that stage. So, pretty messy, that entire tutorial, but you can see just how much improvising you're probably going to have to do in this fight. I tried my best to show what you could possibly get away with, what safety 1-ups, safety health you can take in that level, and you're probably going to need it. It's a very, 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 very brutal level. Anyway, this is stage 4. I'll cover this in a different part. Give me a second.